I've played around with this setup a lot, and every single time it like tips me forward. So to kind of counteract it, I end up being a bit more upright than I'd like. So if this platform is adjustable, that would be sick. To be fair, ideally I'd want to put something under the platform, but oh well. Second set, first one, not great. Not because of the reps, as in the number, the quality. So here, probably an overshoot, but I'd rather, in terms of like, I'm probably going to do too many reps or too many. I'm more comfortable with that after kind of, well, overshooting load on the first set. I don't actually use rep ranges anymore, if I'm honest. I sort of go for whatever feels right on the day that allows me to progress. If something feels shit, I'll probably do more reps. If something feels good to load, as long as I'm not adding load all the time because of my joints, and as long as I'm not progressing load too aggressively or letting the reps get too low, I'm happy. I don't mind this being like 2 sets of 6 this week, and then next week being, again, 2 sets of 6, but also being potentially like a set of 8 and a set of 10. I rarely walk load backwards, but depending on, like say if my rep range is 6 to 10, if I get to 10 and my reps are still a little shitty or joints are feeling a little bit aggy, I'll just go above. So a bit more intuitive with rep ranges. Sets, always as programmed. I have to exert just to stay upright.
Is it lower back loading?
Just balance. Don't know what it is. I need it to be a bit more inclined than it is, I think.
You know like the Atlantis one?
That's the one I stalled.
Stalled? Oh,
Yeah.
You got this one in?
Yeah. I've run that for so long, and it just stalled and stalled and stalled. And it got to the point where, like, mentally, every time I was approaching the set, I was just like, nah, it's not there. So pro tip, if you catch yourself progressing a lot on a lift, even if it's a bit hit and miss, if you feel like you're approaching that session a bit pessimistically, for one, yeah, try and work on your mindset, sure. But equally, as long as it's not happening all the time, just swap the lift. No one wants to go in and have a lift that they don't enjoy that's sticky. I don't mind a sticky lift that's challenging and fun, like a pivot leg press or a stiff leg. But that row over there, curse that row, was just starting to get a little bit, appearing in my nightmares. And yeah, not the one. Single arm, lat focus row. Exotic, bro, exotic. It was meant to be hammer strength incline up next. There's a theme to this session, but it's taken. Laterals are still taken. So we're going to move on to my final 2 sets of back work. Volume currently is fucking rock bottom. Like, coming back from an illness, starting off a new block, higher frequency, just makes sense. I feel like this seat's going to be a bit too high. 4 sets back, 2 sets chest, 3 side delt, 3 bicep, 3 tricep. And at peak it was like, well, it would have been set, drop set. So 3, 6, chest would have been 6. So 6 back, 6 chest. And then it would have been like, it was 4 or 5 sets, with the first one being a straight and the other ones being a rep match. So side delts was 5, I remember that. 1 set was straight set, and then it was 4 rep matches. So first 3 might be 2 sets, final one is 3. So that's 8 sets of side delts. Between 6 to 8 for biceps, triceps, and side delt each. A lot of volume. Yes, I was able to progress it. No, not by a lot, but as long as you can still progress. That's all that really matters. I'm not chasing adding kilos on kilos to my lifts. As long as there's some form of progression, don't worry, this isn't a working set. As long as there's some form of progression, I'm happy, I'm calm. With bodybuilding, if you limit how many sets you're doing to exclusively how much you can just load the fuck up, Like if you're like, oh, one set of pendulum, so I can progress it 5 to 10 kilos at a time, you're chasing strength over hypertrophy. You'd be better off doing more sets, even if it means your strength progression is lowered or more inconsistent. You're still able to deliver a greater volume of stimulus. Even if you're doing like 3 sets of pendulum, you only progress 1 and the other 2 hold, week to week net, that's still stimulus being progressed. The fact that you didn't drop off in strength shows that you're truly getting stronger. So don't be afraid to, like, you know, add a few more sets to your lifts and have things progress a little bit slower in terms of numbers. Arguably, it's safer for joints anyway. And I'm obsessed with that knee, mate. It's made of glass. Okay, this arm is definitely stronger. Paused a little bit in the stretch, just so that I wasn't there all day, just so I could still get 10 reps on both sides without fucking dying. Again, I'll probably write that down in the logbook. I always use like little notes for myself. I tend to use like a letter and just circle it. So like I means intensity, N means a new movement, P means progression, F means form. And then usually I'll write L or R or R or L for which side I should start with. Here, definitely start left side. Maybe warm up a bit more on the left side. It might not be that this side is weaker, or sorry, stronger. It might be that this side was a bit more warmed up. This is my dominant hand, so it might just be more willing to just jump into sets, whereas Mr. Non-Dominant over here, Mr. Submissive, oh, might need to warm up a little bit more before I start pulling things. All right, let's see if I can go do a hammer strength incline. If I can't, then I'm gonna cry. I've taken loading back a little bit because my shoulder feels a little bit iffy. I think I might swap this out. We'll see. We'll see. I feel bad. I'm not at my peak. I'm not at my peak and I'm filming it, but oh well. Hopefully, a lot of reps here. This should be a lot of reps. As long as intensity's there and control's there, I'm happy. But I'm not fully happy unless I get a lot of reps. I have put some safeties in, as you can see, that I didn't do on the previous sets. Usually it's not that big of an issue. And again, I'm very much of the mindset of if you don't have to do it, don't do it. Like, I'm not going to take up my time doing something I don't need to do. But again, so we're just going to be a little bit careful. I might swap this for Swiss bar, incline, barbell, or dumbbell with a neutral grip. Because typically that's a little bit comfier, more comfortable on the shoulder. If this set hurts, I will probably end it and swap it for something else because I'm not willing to battle it out, but I reckon I could get a good set. We'll take it, we'll take it.
Bro, slithered out there.
Yeah, I was trying to get that left shoulder out of there, man. Woo! Good enough for me to, yeah, probably good enough for me to do 3 plates. Eight reps will take it. That was what I was getting on 5 kilos extra aside. Not the biggest bruise to my ego.
It's all right.
But yeah. Little bit of a squiffy one, but I'll allow it. I'm tempted to do it with like a back support or something.
Next set.
Yeah, yeah.
Or in a bit.
Yeah, I'll just do it seated, fuck it. There we go. Fucking hell, man. I'll talk about not repeating reps and then repeat reps. Okay, that was better. That was a lot better. 9.5.
Better set.
Oh yeah. Sticky in the mid.
As always.
Held it there for a sec. Tried, failed, calm. Woo. It's legit going to get to the point, instead of falling over, I'm going to have to get a weight belt and just like hang more weight off myself so I can counterbalance better.
Heavy nuts.
Yeah, heavy nuts, the heavy nuts protocol. Whew.
Yeah,
Okay, cross cable laterals, set up in the length and range. I'm using D handles on these. Not because there's anything magical about it, really. A while back, I did get some forearm tendonitis, and part of what I had to do for my rehab was lateral raises holding onto a kettlebell, just to challenge that wrist extension a little bit passively. And this initially started off as a rehab exercise, and it just progressed and progressed and progressed to the point where my delts are the limiting factor here. So I've just kept it in, and since then I've never had issues with forearm tendonitis. Thinking about it in terms of like wrist joint actions I train, there's definitely more of a loaded flexion or fighting flexion to stay neutral than there is extension. So having this in here, as long as I don't feel like my forearms are what's giving in, I'm comfortable and happy. Yeah, it's nothing really too magical. I'm not one of those people that thinks you have to hold on to something when you lateral. That's bullshit. Most people who say that can't justify why. I do use cuffs. It's just the attachment that I happen to be using. That was more than 4 reps.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah, bro. I counted 9.
Oh, fuck it. Oh,
I swear that's 9. That's threw me through a loop though.
forgive me, I must be questioning.
One of the top tips for a lateral is, as people come up, you kind of tend to see like this excessive shrug. Now, you don't really want to be doing this, but equally you don't want to hold your scaps down, because if I hold my scaps down, yeah, is the most I can get. Fuck me, that's a fight. But you're literally inhibiting your own ability to fully abduct. So what do? Abduct. My traps are slightly elevated. Like my shoulder blades are slightly elevated. So what do? I keep them there. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's probably closer to there, but there's relaxed. So just slight little shrug, and then just hold that throughout. And that's how you can lateral comfortably without actually involving your scaps and kind of cheating it by turning it into a trap exercise. So if you truly want a lot of side delt out of it, kind of almost hold them in this small isometric. The weight isn't so challenging that this isometric is too much of a concern, and that's not what's going to fail the set, but we're not using our traps and moving them to move that load. So we're putting them under very minimal tension, again, to allow your shoulder to move naturally. If your shoulder could fully abduct with your scaps all the way down, then sure, but unfortunately, for 99% of the population, you can't. If you're a weirdo out there who can, DM me proof, I don't believe it. All right. Okay, 200 pounds. Offseason. Push up. Whatever the fuck you want to call
on my teeth. Pull up on a nigga with a scope, make him shake hard. 97 bullets, no fingers. AR, Jumpman, 23 playoffs. Sweet ass nigga, you belong in the game, boy. I ain't taking bait till I put their face hard. Niggas from the top, we pull out to the boulevard. We 50 deep in the wall like 10 wanna fuck now, bitch, you wanna take me out the lunch now.